Alright, so today we're going to be taking a closer look at the NANUK 950. This is one of NANUK's deeper and slightly larger cases compared to like their more popular 935 case. So just kind of taking an overview of this. This is more of a long-term review. I've been using this one for about half a year. So I have some experience on things I like and don't like. But just to get started on kind of a review of the exterior of this case, it uses a two-latch system similar to their smaller 935 cases. So it's a bigger case, but still only uses two latches. I found that two latches is plenty for this size of case. I've never had any issues with it. The latches on these cases, and this one specifically, are fantastic. They have a great clamping force, and the mechanism is strong, it's sturdy, and I've never had any issues with it getting snagged or having issues keeping the lid closed or coming loose. They're a pretty good system. If I just show you how it works here, I'll just do it laying down so it's easier. This gray tab, you basically press that tab down and then you pull that out and then the claw away from the lid. Pull it out, claw away from the lid, and then you put the claws over the lid and then you press them down. Pretty nice snap there. They're high quality. As I said, no issues with those. They're one of my favorite parts about these NANUK cases. The handle here is really well built. This case, because of its size, can get really heavy, like upwards of 60, 80 pounds if it's really loaded with some high quality glass. So these handles have never felt, they've really felt like they're more than enough, like super solid, good rubber grip on it so they're not too slippery even if your hands are wet, which has been really fantastic. Let's move around to the top here. On the top, it's just another one of these really good handles, and they have a two-step process when you pull it out. So they don't flop out on their own. So if they're in your car or something, or you're carrying the case around, the handles aren't flapping and knocking on the case. You actually have to pop them out. So I really do like that mechanism. It makes sure that it stays flat and compact when you want it to. It has a standard kind of button here that you press to extend the handle for rolling. Never had any issues with this handle. Over the half year I've been using it, it's been super smooth. It's never gotten caught. Never had the button get jammed or anything. It's been really solid, and it locks out the top there, and then it has two heights. So you can choose between two lengths depending on how far you want the case to be rolling behind you. It does have some crash feet here on the bottom, so when you set the case down, it does have quite a nice gap and protection so you don't scuff up this part or damage the handle part here too bad. And you can see the handle rails go along in there. And then if we go on to the back side here, nothing really to see here, just some empty cavities. I don't even know what these are for. And then if you go on to the bottom here, this is where the wheels are. It's the same wheels as their other cases like the 935, to say the least. They're kind of small, but at least on this case they're further apart, so it does roll a little bit better than their smaller cases. It rolls really quietly and really smoothly on floors, like tile floors. It's like a high quality suitcase. It's very quiet, it's very low resistance, but the wheels are too small to roll in grass, so, or any type of like hump or like a crack in a sidewalk or grass. They kind of suffer, they bounce a lot, and the case like shakes a lot. But for just standard like tile floors and hard floors and concrete, they're pretty solid, especially with the weight of this case that I can get to because of its size. They're definitely useful, that's for sure, instead of carrying it all by yourself. So if I lay it down here and we kind of look onto the inside here, out like that, pretty easy, the latches to get open, and this one's got a big old lid. So on the inside here, this is how I have it arranged. This does come out, this middle portion here, and then I'll also show you that this is how the case comes packed. So it comes like that with the red straps and extra pieces of foam, and that's it without the lid organizer. Then kind of have that. What's nice is that you can take this out, so if you want to put some softer stuff like some folded cloth or tablecloths or skirting or some type of foldable compressible fabric, you can take it out and get much more capacity for that type of stuff. Or you can put the foam block back in if you want more customizability and protection for the equipment that you're going to be putting in it. So this is how I have it set up. We'll get into that in just a little bit. And then it doesn't come with this orange piece. That's just from another bag, so I'll remove that for now. But The lid here, you'll see that this one has a very large lid organizer. It has one rectangular packing cube here, two smaller rectangulars, and then one really long one at the bottom here, along with the pull away lid behind as well that you can put some smaller things into. These are really high quality. This material is like a really nice thick material. It doesn't snag or get any damage very easily. It's really high quality. The zippers themselves are really high quality too. I've never had any issues with them snagging or having problems with popping out or the zippers coming undone. They're high quality gauge, high quality zippers with nice straps on them too, so they're very easy to pull. And you can't take a good zipper for granted, that's for sure. And then this back panel, the one thing I have to say about this is that it does, when the more you pack this, it pulls away from the back and it cuts into the top piece here. So if you have this maxed out in height, then you gotta be careful with how much this is coming out and cutting into here, for both this top portion and the cubes. If you pack both, you're gonna lose a couple, 1 or 2 inches cutting into the bottom part. But overall, I'd highly recommend these cases are a lot more affordable if you get it with the foam organizer and the lid organizer at once. If you try and buy this separately later, it's way more expensive. So I'd wait for the ones fully kitted out, which do go on sale more often anyways, to go on sale closer to the price of without it, and just get it fully kitted out right off the bat, and you'll kind of thank yourself later, rather than buying these overpriced later, if you even can. Sometimes these are hard to find in stock. But yeah, it's pretty large. This larger case, the 950 compared to the 935, has this extra bottom one here because it's a little bit larger. And then if we move on to the bottom here, this is how I have it set up. I'll kind of show you why I got this and why I also have 2 935s. So it's like, why do you need 2 935s and then one bigger 950, right? Well, the issue with the 935s is that the cameras had to be fully taken apart and fully sectioned out into little kits. So you couldn't really have a built camera. So the reason I got this one is because if you see here, I got a fully built out Sony a7S III with a monitor on it. So it's got some pretty good height to it and depth. And what's awesome about this case, so you can see fully built out camera can go right in there. And it comes right to the top here, plenty of room, and the lid can still close right on top of it. So I'm able to put 2 fully built out cameras in here with some batteries and lenses. So if you go further here, you can see that like we can pop a lens there. This is a really large lens, the Tamron 35 to 150. Put it in there, barely even looks like it's there. You can pop your V-mount batteries in there, and then you can also put the camera in there. And you can see how you can really start to fit a lot in here. A lot of lenses, 2 fully built cameras, batteries, lenses. You can have 2 fully kitted out cameras in one case. So you open one case and you have your A cam and your B cam ready to go. And the thing with the 935s is that they're good for carrying lenses, additional cameras, additional accessories. But when you need to show up on set ready to go and you don't have time to be, oh, I'm going to put this handle on, and then I'm going to put this mic on, and then we'll put this monitor on, and then maybe something stopped working while you were putting it together, because that's how it goes. That gets annoying. So when you can arrive on set camera ready, like you've tested it at home, it's ready to go, it works, it's all good, it's charged up, and it's just in there, and you can just arrive, pull it out, keep the tripod plate on it, pull it out, pop it on pull it out, pop it on a tripod, pull out camera B, pop it on a tripod, you're done in a couple of minutes. So a bigger case like this is very versatile. This has a lot of depth to it. I'll put the dimensions on screen for the interior right now. And that depth goes a long way in what you can pack. It's not a much bigger case than the 935, but for some reason it makes a very big difference in what you can actually fit. So yeah, that's that right there, and you can imagine having a second camera right here. And then this monitor does come right up to the edge here, so you gotta be careful with how much items you put into here, because it will start to pull this out and cut into this space. But as long as you're aware with like the lid cutting into it, and especially if you're not even getting close to the top, you should be totally fine. And then if I pull it towards me again here, this top organizer I found is usually best for items about this thick, like an ND filter case, or like cases for your cables, is good thickness. I got a power bank in here, like this thickness of stuff, like a power bank, batteries, and then if I put them in here, you can see I put 2 ND filters side by side in there, which is pretty great. And zip it up, and that's still not cutting into, it does have about a little bit of room, see, before it starts to come out, but if you really pack this up, it will cut into the top here. But yeah, if we pull it back here, see with the full camera rig in there, closes very easily. Man, and then just open it up when you get to set. And pull your camera out, fully built. On a tripod, it goes super quick. This is a great case. It's basically a 935 NANUK's carry-on size case, but just like a little bit bigger. So yeah, if you're looking for a case where you can fit 1 or 2 cameras, this is about the size of maybe a Sony FX6 or a Canon C50 built out. Or C70, Canon C70 built out. So if you're looking for a case you can put 2 cinema cameras, A and B cameras, fully built out with accessories, this is definitely the one to do it for sure. I've tried many NANUK cases, and this is the one that's the smallest while still allowing you to do this. And then also does come with some of these red straps that you can use to kind of go across items to keep things from bouncing up and down in the case if you have extra vertical space. The case does have a water gasket around the lid here. So right around here, you'll see that there's a gasket that runs all the way around the lid of the case. When you close the lid, it presses down onto the plastic notch along here. And it does put I'll put the water rating up on screen now. It does prevent water from coming in. So your stuff is basically crush proof, water resistant, and just protected from climate and temperature change as well, and a little bit in a way as well. So yeah, this is really great if you want to protect your high value items, whether in a car or checking it underneath a plane. It's a great way to travel to protect this stuff, because this stuff is hard to replace. It's expensive. So I think investing a few $100s into some cases like this one goes a long way in protecting your multiple thousands of dollars of equipment. But anyways, that's been all. If you want to buy anything that's seen inside this case, or the case itself, or the 935 that I mentioned throughout the video, all those links will be in the description. So just go pick those up in the description if you're interested. But anyways, that's been all, and thank you for watching.